It's one that our leaders recognize as an investment that we make, and it makes them want to stay with Teleperformance and continue to grow. We bring them back after graduation, and they're actually required to execute projects. And they'll execute those projects on the particular client or customer that they're associated with, or the particular facet of the business. And one of the pieces I think that's most interesting about this is when they leave their class, you've got someone from India, you've got someone from the Netherlands, you have someone from Germany, you have someone from the Philippines. They come back and they have now a global network of people that they can reach out to and share best practices with. I've got a customer beating me over the head. I'm having an issue with AHT, to pick out something simple. Handle time. I've done this, I've done that, I'm trying everything, it's not working. Now I've got a global network of friends and peers I can reach out to and collaborate and discuss best practices inside of the group. We're proud to say we have more graduates out of this program from the Philippines than any other country around the world. And we have more, we do award a magna cum laude every year as well. We have more of those coming out of the Philippines as well. So I think a lot of you would find this interesting, especially those in the real estate sector, whether you're building or whether you're selling. I get asked all the time, and I'm always seeing emails or connections on LinkedIn, and hey, I got this building in Ortigas, I've got this building in Makati, I've got this space, I've got that space. First and foremost, what we're looking for is the demographics associated with a particular location. And there are several things inside of the demographics. We want to look at the social economic class mix in any particular area, whether it be in the metro or whether it be in one of the provincial areas. And inside of that, you get some pretty good leading indicators on what is going to be successful by the degrees and the numbers of college graduates in those areas. Knowing that the schoolwork is English-led, it gives us a pretty good indicator on who we want to target. So the concentrations of the people that are going to give us the best shot and open up the widest funnel for us from a selection perspective to go get the talent. A couple other things that are absolutely key inside of this is accessibility. If it's not on a primary or a secondary public transportation route, not interested. We all know our employees, and 98, 99% of them are using some type of public transportation to get to and from work every day. Maybe it's the jeepney, maybe it's the MRT, maybe it's the bus, maybe it's a combination of two or three. That's very stressful, it's very time-consuming, and it wears and takes its toll on your employees. So maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there was an interest to travel from Laguna to Makati, for my call center job. There's a few of those, but not anymore today. Today, now, because this is such a hyper-competitive market, because everyone has a presence here, because there's 600,000 employees, now I have the opportunity to work close to home. So I want to find what's close to me. So we absolutely want to be located where the people are, where the concentration of the people are that we're looking to be located next to, as well as the accessibility factors. On top of that, you lay in who's your competition in the area. We all know our competition pretty well. We probably know who they're supporting inside of those call centers as well. So don't put yourself in a position, if you can avoid it, to have to combat over labor inside of those particular markets. And then ensure that you've got a supply chain for years to come, and look at where the colleges and universities are. So looking for colleges and universities, I'm looking at the competition in the area, I'm looking at the accessibility from a transportation perspective, and I'm looking at the people, the makeup of the people in that particular area before I ever worry about looking at a building, real estate people. So the building is absolutely critical, but that's the last piece of focus for us. Once you get inside of the building, there's a number of things we're focusing on. At the end of the day, we mentioned earlier, this is a people business. And you've got to do things in call centers in this industry, or in this market, that you don't really have to do in call centers and other places around the world. So whether it be gyms, or whether it be arcades or karaoke rooms, in Bacolod, we have a site with a swimming pool. We have in Sukat a location with a basketball court. You need to really differentiate yourself for your people. The biz dev guys in the room, or those that have been in sales for years, are always looking for ways to outsell the other customer. These are all the reasons why we're better. Well, for me, that's good. I've got to have those guys too. And at the same time, I've got to make sure that I'm focusing on selling my people. I've got to differentiate Teleperformance for my employee base. And one of the ways we're going to do that is to ensure that the place they have to come to every night or every day, taking call after call after call, which is it's a tough job, is at least the kind of environment that they're going to get excited about and they're going to feel good about. And we do employee satisfaction surveys every year. They are very comprehensive. We ask about 50 different questions inside of everything from the quality or their satisfaction levels with the headset that they use every day, to the chair, to the cubicle, to the lighting, to the accessibility, and then some of the more the touch points, like with the supervisors, the degree of coaching they're getting, do they have a career path, and most importantly for us, because we measure net promoter score of our employee base, would they recommend Teleperformance to a friend or to a family member? And these are the ways we're measuring our ability to engage with our people. Our chairman is steadfast at driving this and creating complete transparency. We run it in every country, we run it at every site, and we drill it down to the program and to the team level. So I can see how Philippines stacks up against every other country we're running employee satisfaction with in the world. The Philippines is scoring absolutely at the top with best companies that we have around the world. Bacolod actually scored as our highest employee satisfaction location of any of our nearly 300 sites worldwide. And it really boils down to a lot of the investments in the people, the amenities, and let's not forget leadership as well. But one of the things we're asking inside of that survey, again, to help us carve out those sites is, what do you want? Do you want a gym? Do you want an arcade? Do you want an internet cafe? So that they feel like they're participating in the environment that they're creating. A couple last points, and then I'll wrap, and we'll do some Q&A, just to talk about kind of the evolution inside of our space, because much of what we do and what we've talked about already is very transactional. It's very people-oriented. It's about taking phone calls. It's about solving customer issues. How does it change? What are the game changers? What are the companies doing to invest from an innovation perspective? And also, how are we preparing ourselves for some of the changes that are going to take place over the next several years in terms of how our customers engage with their products and services? From an innovation standpoint, something we've invested in, which still addresses some of the legacy ways in which we interact with customers, is what we call our Teleperformance Observer. We've used some pretty interesting Israeli-based intelligence, voice analytics software components to incorporate into a tool that is able to real-time measure and gauge the sensitivity, the level of frustration, excitement, anger, that a customer is having right out of the gate with an employee. And our workforce management team, real time, is able to see, based on whether heads are popping up green or red, whether the customer is passive, enthusiastic, or completely upset. And for those of us who have run in operations for a number of years, and especially in the Philippines, we know here everybody is not so quick and excited to go let the customer, or the supervisor or the manager know that I'm having an issue or that I don't know how to fix it. When the customer gets angry, the longer that call goes on, and the angrier the customer gets, the more it spirals out of control, the more we know we have an issue that we have to address. And then that customer then becomes a detractor, and they tell their friends and their family members all about this horrid experience that they had. So we're able to mitigate a lot of that by inserting real-time some measurements in the customer's behaviors and enthusiasm or lack thereof about the scenario as soon as they engage with the customer. And immediately we can have somebody interject, take over a call, monitor the screen, or simply send a resource over to go assist the supervisor, so we're not waiting for those things to happen after the fact or reading about them in a customer satisfaction survey later on. Platinum is another offering of ours to focus on some of the high-value customers that many of our clients have not felt the need to outsource historically because they deem those as being too difficult. It's L3 or it's L4, or this is a customer base that is very high value, and we want to segment it from the rest of the population, and you can't not only support it offshore, but you can't support it domestically either. We want to retain and own this. And we can certainly respect and appreciate that. At the end of the day, there are things that we've done to create an environment to ensure that our people are properly educated and supported to assist that customer base. In the video I showed earlier, you saw Rhonda Watkins from Toshiba talking about 95% of her customers scoring a 5 on CSAT. That Toshiba business is supported here in the Philippines. And one of the things we do inside of that environment is, some of them are very, very simple. Some of them are focused from a recruiting perspective. We're going out and identifying the absolute best people that we can. We're not agreeing to any significant scale at a pace that we know is not going to position us to be successful. So we take our time. It's a very slow draw with the right skill set. We involve our customers in that hiring practice. We lower the ratios. So the supervisors to agent ratio is like 1 to 4 in that kind of environment. We create a segmented area of our facilities that is all high-end, high-touch, 21-inch monitors or larger, leather chairs, glassed-in environment. They've got LCDs running. I mean, they've got everything that is really state-of-the-art and premium because we want the employees associated with that brand to feel that they are that segmented, high-value, white glove